Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The English Habit. I'm Nina.
And I'm Jack. We're so incredibly excited to have you join us today for an episode that many of you consider the holy grail of English fluency.
That's right, Jack. Have you ever been mid-conversation in English and suddenly you feel your brain doing a frantic dance, translating from your first language, then trying to form English sentences, only to have the moment pass? It's exhausting, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's like your brain is running a full translation service on the fly. You know the words, you know the grammar, but there's this invisible wall, this delay before you can actually speak. It's the difference between knowing English and feeling English.
Exactly. Today, we're diving deep into how to think in English easily. This isn't just about speaking faster. It's about fundamentally rewiring your brain so that English becomes your first thought, not your second.
It's about bypassing that translation step altogether, allowing you to react naturally, respond intuitively, and truly feel like an English speaker. And we promise, by the end of this episode, you'll have practical, actionable, and surprisingly simple strategies you can start using a day to train your brain to think directly in English.
So, if you're ready to break free from the translation trap and unlock true spontaneity in your English, grab your headphones, take a deep breath, and let's get your English brain working. Part 1. The translation trap. Why our brains get stuck.
All right, Nina, let's confront the core issue. Why do our brains insist on translating everything first, even when we have a good grasp of English?
It's a deeply ingrained habit, Jack, and it's not your fault. Our native language is our mental home base, our default setting. First, it's about comfort and efficiency, at first. When you began learning English, translation was a necessary crutch. It helped you connect new English words to concepts you already understood. But then it became a habit that's hard to break.
Yeah, it's like learning to walk with crutches, but then you forget how to walk without them.
Precisely. Second, lack of direct association. Many learners memorize vocabulary lists with equivalents in their first language. This reinforces the idea that an English word equals a word in their native tongue, rather than connecting the English word directly to the concept or image. Example, when you see a cat, your brain goes, "The word for cat in my language is X, so this is cat," instead of just cat.
Third, fear of making mistakes. If you translate, you feel like you have more control, more time to construct a perfect sentence. But in reality, it slows you down and increases anxiety, making the problem worse.
So true. You're so busy translating and perfecting that the moment for spontaneous conversation just flies by. Whoosh!
And fourth, insufficient immersion in English-only thought. If you spend most of your day thinking in your native language, your brain doesn't get enough practice operating solely in English.
So, understanding why your brain translates is the first crucial step to teaching it a new, more efficient habit. It's not about being bad at English, it's about an old habit.
Part 2. The core principle, direct connection and conscious practice. Okay, Jack, if translation is the habit we need to break, what's the fundamental principle to start thinking in English easily?
The core principle is direct connection and conscious practice. You need to consciously create direct links between English words and concepts, bypassing your native language, and then practice using those links regularly. First, label your world in English. This is a classic for a reason. Take sticky notes and label common objects around your house in English. Every time you see that object, say the English word out loud or in your head. Example, stick table on your table, chair on your chair, fridge on your fridge. When you see your fridge, think fridge, not its equivalent in your first language.
Second, use English to English dictionaries. When you learn a new word, look it up in an English dictionary that defines it using other English words. This forces your brain to stay in the English ecosystem. How to do it? If you look up ephemeral, the dictionary might say lasting for a very short time. This builds a web of English understanding.
Third, learn words in context and phrases, not in isolation. Don't just learn happy, learn feel happy, make me happy, happy ending. Your brain stores these chunks, making retrieval faster.
Yes, it's like learning a whole sentence recipe instead of just individual ingredients. Much easier to cook.
Fourth, engage in English-only internal monologue. This is where the magic really happens. Consciously narrate your day, your thoughts, your plans, all in your head. No one's listening, so no pressure. Example, okay, I'm making coffee now. The water is boiling. I need to add sugar. What should I wear today?
This is incredibly powerful because it trains your brain to process information directly in English without the pressure of speaking to someone else.
By consistently applying these principles, you're building new neural pathways, making English your brain's default operating system little by little.
Quick pause here, English Habit listeners. If you're already feeling the gears shifting in your brain, please hit that like button wherever you're listening. It really helps our podcast reach more learners.
And if you want more game-changing English learning strategies and to truly make English thinking effortless, make sure to subscribe to the English Habit and ring that notification bell. You won't want to miss our future episodes. Now, let's dive into some specific, fun techniques to make thinking in English a natural, easy habit.
Part 3. Specific brain training exercises. Making it easy.
All right, Nina. Beyond the core principles, what are some targeted exercises to make thinking in English truly easy?
My favorite is the "What am I doing" game. Throughout your day, whenever you're doing a simple action, immediately think or say softly what you're doing in English. How to do it: pouring water. I'm pouring water. Walking. I'm walking. The sky is blue. Eating. I'm eating an apple. It's sweet.
This is brilliant because it's constant, low-pressure practice that anchors words to real-life actions. You can literally do it all day.
Exactly. Second is describe your surroundings. Look around you and mentally or softly describe everything you see, hear, and even smell or feel in English. How to do it: the chair is red. There's a book on the table. I can hear birds singing. It feels a bit warm. This builds descriptive vocabulary and forces immediate English thought.
Third, the English problem solving. When you have a small, everyday problem, what to cook for dinner, what route to take, try to think through the solution entirely in English. Example, okay, for dinner, do I want chicken or fish? I have some rice. Maybe I'll make chicken with vegetables. Yes, that sounds good. This trains abstract thinking in English.
This is powerful because it uses English for practical, real-world mental tasks. Fourth is English rephrase and summarize in English. After you read an article, watch a short video, or hear someone speak, try to summarize the main points in your head or out loud in English. How to do it: this forces your brain to process information in one language and then output it in English without a direct word-for-word translation.
And fifth, the English if-only statements. Use hypothetical situations to practice complex thoughts. Example, if only I had more time, I would travel to Japan. Or, if I won the lottery, I would buy a big house. This helps you use conditional tenses and express desires.
These techniques are designed to integrate English into your natural thought processes, making it feel less like a foreign language and more like a second mental voice.
Part 4. Leveraging tools and environments for easy thinking.
So, Nina, beyond mental exercises, how can our environment and some simple tools help us think in English more easily?
Oh, our environment is a huge untapped resource. First, change your digital environment to English. Your phone, computer, social media apps, switch them all to English. You're constantly interacting with these, so it provides effortless, consistent exposure.
Example, your settings menu, your like button, your send button, all in English. Your brain just accepts them as they are.
Second, consume English media actively. Don't just passively listen. Engage with English podcasts, music, and especially TV shows, movies.
How to use it. When watching, try to predict what characters will say. Pause and summarize. If you hear a common phrase, try to use it in your internal monologue later.
This is like a constant stream of natural English coming into your brain, ready for your thoughts.
Third, use English-only journaling or note-taking. Even if it's just a few sentences about your day or a to-do list, write it in English.
How to do it. Instead of using your native language, write grocery list, milk, eggs, bread. This connects your thoughts to written English.
And fourth, engage in low-pressure English interactions. While solo practice is great, occasional low-pressure speaking can reinforce thinking. This could be an AI chatbot, an online language exchange partner, or even just ordering coffee in English.
Example, ask a chatbot. Let's have a simple conversation about my weekend. I want to try and think only in English.
These environmental and tool-based strategies provide constant, gentle nudges for your brain to stay in English mode.
Part 5. The easy thinking mindset for lasting success. All right, Jack. For our listeners to truly master thinking in English easily, what's the ultimate mindset they need to adopt and maintain?
It's all about patience, non-judgment, and celebrating every tiny step. First, be patient and kind to yourself. This is not an overnight transformation. You will still translate sometimes, especially under pressure. That's okay. Just gently guide your brain back to English.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up. It's a journey, not a switch you can just flip.
Second, embrace the flow over perfection. The goal is to think spontaneously and naturally, not to construct perfectly grammatical sentences in your head. Imperfect English thoughts are better than no English thoughts. Example, if you think, me hungry, that's a direct English thought. Build from there.
Third, treat your brain like a child learning to walk. Encourage it, give it easy tasks, and celebrate every wobbly step. Don't criticize it for falling.
That's a great analogy. You wouldn't yell at a baby for not running a marathon.
And finally, make it enjoyable and a natural part of your life. If thinking in English feels like a chore, you won't stick with it. Find ways to integrate it into things you already love doing. Example, if you love cooking, mentally narrate your recipe in English. If you love video games, think about your strategies in English.
By adopting this positive and patient mindset, you'll find that thinking in English becomes less of a forced exercise and more of a joyful, intuitive process. That's where true fluency begins.
All right, let's wrap this up. Today, we've broken down the translation trap and given you powerful, practical strategies to train your brain to think in English easily. Remember, it's about conscious practice, building direct connections, and nurturing a patient mindset.
Now, we're curious, what's one specific strategy from today's episode that you're excited to try to start thinking in English more easily? Or what's a small moment you've already experienced where you thought directly in English? Drop your answers in the comments below. We love hearing from you.
If this episode gave you the keys to unlocking a more spontaneous English brain, please smash that like button wherever you're listening, subscribe to The English Habit for more game-changing content, and ring that notification bell. Thanks for listening, and remember, your brain is an incredible tool. Teach it to think in English.
See you in the next one. Bye.